Good evening and salutations, my Beyond the Games fans. We're going to start off with new Ted, or if we're going to be honest, the new and improved Ted and Leslie. You know, there are some mothers there are some women that have no business being mothers. If you watch this episode, part of me almost wants to laugh because Ted only came over there to invite Leslie. Don't really know why, but to invite Leslie over because he's going to sit there and try to have like this small little get together birthday party for Eva. And all this chick did was talking about her and her goddamn pain, how much she missed him, how much she wanted him to sit there and try to find her and everything like that, and she missed so many years and stuff like that. And I'm like, listen, I get it. When she was a baby and she was 10 years old, whatever, fine. But the minute that she became a full grown adult and she came back in the Fairmont Crest, she should have said something, right? So all this, oh, you should have been there and this, that, and the third, it's like, really? You know what this chick did afterwards? She stayed home and watched scary movies by herself. Right? That's it. And of course, she was talking about, oh, my daughter betrayed me and this, that, and the third. Like, just making it about herself, right? Just pure scumbaggage. You have I didn't even, to be honest, I didn't even see the point of having Danny and Pam in this episode because all they did was go to the casino, Joey's little poker thing or whatever, to try to win some seed money for their new business. And I'm like, have y'all never went to like a casino or anything like that? Because, the rule of the casino is the house always wins. Don't you have money of your own? Like, aren't y'all rich and everything like that? Like, you tell me you can't sit there and have some of your own startup money or whatever? Like, what are we doing? I mean, hell, even if you were going to sit there and do that, going to a casino, like, or his little casino, really? I don't know. I didn't really see a point in them. All he did was when Doug got there, she was going to ask questions like, "Oh, what is he doing here? What's going on with him?" I'm like, damn, chick. I don't know. Sometimes just people just being nosy like that just kind of just irritates me a little bit. I mean, Danny is already an irritating ass character, um, and Pam is practically her minion. Um, Now June is in the hospital. She's in the hospital because she has pneumonia, severe pneumonia. She needs surgery, right? And she's just being all difficult and everything like that. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if you want. I don't know. I know people are supposed to sit there and try to find this character endearing. All she is to me is difficult and annoying. I'm gonna be real. She's just difficult and annoying. But Doug can't sit there and assist in the surgery. I mean, he can't sit there and really operate. So they have another guy sit there and do it. And they're questioning if he can do it and this, that, and the third. They even sent their boy to Shanice about this. And I mean, ultimately, she winds up being fine. But like, I don't know. I, I don't know. Part of me was kind of just like, it's nice that they care about this woman. They have way more patience than me. So like, if there's only one positive thing I could sit there and say about that scene is they have really good patience. I'm trying, people. I'm really trying. Um, let's see. Doug, after assisting with the surgery, goes back in the club or the casino, whatever. Doug is like, I mean, and Joey's like, You got like a death wish or something, or you got my money? Because it has to be one or the other. But Doug is like, hey, listen, this cast is going to be off my arm or whatever. I'll be able to start doing surgeries again and be able to pay you back your money. Now Joey's like, oh, I can sit there and take a lifetime because of interest and everything like that. I mean, he really is not there trying to like force him to launder money through Vanessa's business, right? It's like, oh no, I can't involve my wife. Doug, do you know what your wife is doing at this point right now? She is essentially seeing like she's fulfilling some guy's foot fetish or dummy fetish or whatever, right? I actually said his name was Cody. Um, so I'm like, I mean, I get it. You love your wife or whatever. I don't know how much you love your wife, knowing that she's. I am not trying to slut shame. I'm not going to do that. But she's out spending time with other men. So I don't. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Does he know? Because if he does know, then he's cucked. If he doesn't know, well, I don't know how he doesn't know at this point. But that's what. Oh, and speaking of Vanessa, Vanessa is somewhere. Well, she's I think she's at Orphagines, and one of her subs. I don't know that much about that fetish. I know a little bit. I have a life outside this. That's what I'm going to sit there and say. But anyway, after she dismisses him, she goes to Nicole's place. Nicole is texting her because she wants to sell the house, and I'm like, listen, I get it. You're hurt. You're angry. You want to sell the whole goddamn house? And she was like, what? Vanessa essentially talks her out. Give it a year or whatever. You do, we'll make bank or whatever, we'll go on a trip. Nicole is all over the place. And yesterday when I did my review and I was like, 1 minute she seemed like she was understanding of Andre. Next, she was seemed like she was giving attitude towards Andre. So what is it? But that's realistic in a sense. You get cheated on, you get hurt at the years of being with this person and thinking that you know them, and to have that level of betrayal, or your emotions going to go all over the damn place. So I can't blame her for being impulsive and wanting to get rid of something that reminds you of the life that y'all two shared. Um, so I get it. Now Kat comes to Jacob with a recording of the conversation from Leslie. And, Leslie, being the scumbag that she is, when she was doing this whole riddle this thing and riddle that, like she was like she was the Riddler or whatever, she kept name dropping evil, right? And so Kat thinks that that's enough evidence to sit there and put Eva behind bars for running off Laura. And Jacob is like, she could have said that she was sarcastic. Like that's I was like that's not evidence. He said he would keep it, just whatever, but like that ain't evidence. He does sit there and go to Leslie's place and, essentially going to take her down to the station. All right, let's get this whole oh, Smitty. I guess we'll talk about Smitty real quick. Smitty goes to Nicole. And goes to Nicole because essentially he wants to sit there and try to understand Martin a little bit. Like, why did Martin out of nowhere decided that he was not going to run for presidency? Like, what's going on? Like, just to try to get some counseling, some guidance or whatever. And unfortunately, their talk kind of get interrupted by Vanessa. So I think he goes to Orphagines and he sees Bill. And he tries to ask Bill, like, remember that little offhand comment about, maybe you may need, like, friends. What did he say? Oh, I thought I wrote it down. But it was that offhand comment that he practically said, like, you may need um, a favor or whatever. It was some sort of offhand comment. An offhand comment was probably like a reference to, like, I know a dirty little secret about you. And essentially, he wanted to know, what did he know about Martin? Now, Bill does not really give an answer. He kind of just, like, goes about it in a real roundabout way. And basically, it's like, talk to your husband, you know. Um, and I knew he was not going to give him a straight answer because he's going to want to sit there and have that leverage. He also does sit there and talk to Nicole about the nightmares. I don't know if she knows anything about whatever nightmares that's going on. At this point, I just want to know, what is this damn secret? What is Martin's secret that he's hiding, that he doesn't want anyone to know, that Bill still has control over the family, right? Because Bill essentially goes to, well, Anita and Vernon's place. Before Bill gets there, Vernon is still pushing for her to get back together with this band or whatever. And yesterday, and I didn't sit there and say this, yesterday she tried to call one of the people. Um, I don't remember which one he tried to call, but she tried to call one of the girls, and she heard her voice and she hung up. Okay, she heard her voice and she hung up. So as they're talking about it, Bill comes over. Now Bill comes over and he wants to sit there and leave um, some stuff for Danny. He saw. I guess he sold some property of theirs or whatever. So he figured that, hey, listen, let me give her the paperwork or whatever. Now, why he goes there instead of Danny's place, I don't know. But anyway, they just kind of go back and forth. Nothing really comes from it. You know, he's still practically public enemy number one, and he knew it. And then the other girl that Anita calls after some tips from Vernon is this chick named Tracy. And she actually accepts. I mean, the thing is, Anita asks, like, why are you pushing so hard to sit there and try to get, like, this back together? And he gave some sort of long-winded answer, right? Some sort of, I'm like, I sat there, I started trying to write that shit, I was like, I'm not doing that. If I had to sit there and interpret this, and this is what I do, essentially, I think he says something about the fact that he wanted that passion from her. Like, she, like, the same way he felt about when he was, like, doing, like, speaking engagements and speeches and stuff like that. How he felt like he was at his best in a sense. That's how he is looking at her in that situation, which is probably why he's been pushing for her to sit there and sing. So he's like, you can get the band back together, you can do that, you can start singing again or whatever, and you know, get that spark back in her, essentially. Anyway, she calls Tracy, and Tracy is down to hang out. I mean, she didn't sit there and say anything about singing or the group or anything like that. I don't imagine them sitting there doing this band back together without, the whole band. So at some point, they're going to have to sit there and talk to this other chick. Uh, and I'm very curious about what happened because it's more than just a simple. It's like this is more than just a simple, because she did sit there and say that she left the group or whatever. But this is more than just a simple Justin Timberlake situation. Something that she said or she did that caused probably both of those women to be vividly angry at her. And they didn't talk in decades. Not a decade, which is already long enough. Decades. Okay, that's like 10, 20, 30, whatever years. So I'm very curious to sit there and see what that's about. Anyway, I feel like that's about it. It wasn't a super great episode. It was a eh. So I might have missed some stuff here or there, but that is the general gist of the episode. Now, of course, if you missed anything, write in the comments. Write in the comment section below. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We will be sitting there talking about all the shows, as you know, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Bold and Beautiful, Young and Restless, and of course, Beyond the Gates. See you then.